When you are ready to bill for payment, go to the B1 tab of your contract workbook. There you will see an invoice record table along with the invoice cover sheet to the right. At the top of the invoice record table, you will see the total amount available for each phase of service along with how much you invoiced to date for each phase. In the fields provided, fill in the date you are submitting the invoice, the billing type for this invoice, whether it is a progress or final billing, and the amounts you were requesting for each phase of service as a part of this invoice, along with any reimbursable expenses you are requesting. The invoice cover sheet will automatically populate most of the fields based on what you have entered into the invoice record. The amounts displayed on the invoice record will reflect the values you entered on the most recent invoice record date from the date of the invoice record. The only fields that you will need to fill out in the invoice cover sheet are the address to where you would like the payments sent to in cells J19 and J20, and the start and end dates or end date for services rendered. Those fields will be highlighted in green on the invoice cover sheet until a value is entered. As you enter additional invoices, the total amount you have billed from the previous invoices will automatically be updated in the previously invoiced section of the invoice cover sheet. If you bill over the budgeted amount for each phase, you will see a notice highlighted in red informing you that the amount you have billed for exceeds the amount allowed for in this contract. If additional funding is necessary, you will need to submit an additional services request, and a new contract for those additional services will be created if approved. After you have filled in the appropriate information related to the current invoice submission, you are ready to print the invoice cover sheet and submit for payment. When you are ready to submit the next invoice, go to the next row in the invoice record. The invoice cover sheet will put in the appropriate information for the last date entered in the invoice record.